You can't be too serious all the time, and I like to cut it up as well as anybody else. And I think that a little bit of levity, you know, it evens it out with the seriousness and the levity, and then you get a balance, right? So I like to fuck around. I've been training since 1993. I had a good friend of mine who went to high school with me, and after high school we all separated, and when he came back he was a black belt, and that was Cesar Gracie. And as soon as he showed me what style of martial art he was doing, I had to learn it.
That's why I'm sure you guys turn the best heavyweight, right? Because if he looks, he can come after. But if I turn him away, it's hard to come after when you're looking the other way.
Well, Ralph is Cesar's cousin, and as the popularity of Jiu-jitsu grew, and there was need for another instructor, and so Cesar called Ralph and said, "Hey, come over here and help me." At first, Ralph showed up, and then he pretty much started putting a lot of time into me and everything, and the rest is history.
See how I have this? This is a bad arm lock right here. So when you guys sit with your friend, don't fall uncontrollably like an asshole and hurt him.
I think that has to do with that I'm a little bit more radical and not as serious as other people. I'm very serious about training and how I train and everything else, but I've always been like this, and so I think that some people came into the academy, and I've rubbed some people the wrong way, needless to say. You know, I've been with the team since '98 when Hal put me here to teach, and so I've changed my teaching style, you know, like every so often, because I evolve still, and I'm still learning, and I think that anybody who thinks that you stop learning after you get your black belt is sadly mistaken. But everybody knew how I was, and that's how I was. And, you know, there's been a lot of people in and out of the door, and I have a pretty good, like, I want to say 95% ratio that everybody likes me. And then some people came in here, you know, they got ego, and my people here, we train really hard and very competitively, but we're not dicks about it. You know what I'm saying? I think that comes across, and I think you learn that from your instructor. And so I have a really great bunch of people who train really hard and are very serious about their jiu-jitsu, and that's obvious because I get really good results at tournaments and Pan Ams and Worlds and in MMA, and every venue my guys always are on top or on the podium. And that's the end result is I want everybody to get along, train really hard, and have a really good team. I have like different like types of people who train. So there's guys that are just doing it for a hobby. There are guys that are doing it for a hobby and health reasons because, you know, they want to reclaim their physique or whatever. And then I got guys that are like me, with mat rat. You know, you're fucking on the mat every day. Like today, you just saw my 4th training of the day. That's why it didn't look so fucking good. but needless to say, even if I'm fucking dead tired, I get out there, I roll around with my guys because I think that really motivates students. I think that's what students want to see. I think that I don't like to be like the kind of leader that lords over and just points his finger and then ignores you afterwards or whatever. I'm on the mat, I'm training with them, I'll fucking show them if they need extra help, I help them. I do everything here. I'm like fucking, I'm the janitor, I'm the psychiatrist, I'm the medic, I'm the physical preparation coach, I'm the jiu-jitsu coach, counselor, I'm everything here, so just got to change hats. This location's been, I want to say we're almost at 8 years, if not 8 years, and it's doing really well here. It's a a nice big facility where we can fit a lot of people. You saw tonight though, that big mat was full. It was too full. And so every time it gets a little bit too full, I add another class. So I'm up to like giving like 4 to 5 classes a day, usually 4. I do the 7 to 10, 11:30, 5:30, and then there's a 7:30 right now. You know, I've got guys that come in here and they say, hey, I want MMA, I want MMA. Unfortunately, I only do MMA for my guys who I see have the aptitude for it. I don't believe that everybody has the aptitude for it. And so, I mean, that's why we have so few fighters here, but we have really good fighters. I don't think that everybody should be doing MMA. I mean, and then a lot of guys come in here saying, yeah, I fucking wrestled in high school, and you punch him in the face and you can tell right away he didn't like it. And you better like getting punched in the face and kicked and hit a lot, because you better like it, because as well as you can give it, you're gonna be taking it back. There's certain moves that you'll delete, like that are not viable for MMA, but I can switch in and out of my gi or into MMA at any time, and I know. But then again, I got a few thousand hours on, right? So I can switch it in my head. A lot of people are just like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to train in a gi. The bottom line is the best guys in the world that are the no gi champions came out of their gi, and that's just the bottom line, you know. That's just the way it is. All the best guys who are now fucking really good or winning Abu Dhabi or any of the gi-less things are all ex-gi guys. The thing is, it's so big on TV now that everybody's kind of like, oh, okay, these guys are doing jiu-jitsu. So they usually, and with all the information now, I came from the age where there was no computers or cell phones. So these guys will Google it or whatever and look it up and go, oh, that's jiu-jitsu. So they already know what they're pretty much looking for, and they know the name. So that's why they come here to Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. And I mean, you know, every year there's a big influx and outflux the whole year. People joining and quitting. It's really interesting to see who sticks and who doesn't. And you just can never tell. You know, the toughest guy could come in here and not show up again, you know, sign up and then fizzle out, you know, and then the guy who's a super nerd, all of a sudden he's here every day and he trains all the time. So you never can tell. I think that it's good for your body and good for your mind, and that's why I think that smart people like this sport, because they really think about a lot of different scenarios and how it's going to go and this and that. So, I mean, this is like chess, except when you lose a piece, you're usually losing a piece or you're tapping for a choke or something, you know. So it's very strategic, and as much as you want to tweak out on it and think about it, you can. I mean, we do it all the time. Sometimes we'll just sit here and like goof around and make up moves or try to figure something out, and then it's endless. So that's why I'm so motivated when I come in every day, because the learning never ends. I'm going to be sitting here trying to figure out stuff forever, so that's a good thing. I got a bunch of young guys that teach me all the cool shit. I think that it is for like people who are totally into the sport. They want to see that. I think as for like Main Street people, that's why they put 3 5-minute rounds for UFC. And then they're basically doing point fighting is what I call it now. You know what I'm saying? They're fighting to win the round. They're not fighting to finalize the guy. But I think that most mainstream viewers, if you go, okay, this is going to be a fucking half-hour round until somebody fucking taps, they're going to be like, man, that's boring, you know? But to us, like people who really like the sport, that's what we want to see. We want to see the war of attrition, you know? That's what it was based on. It was like, okay, you might not be winning this fight right now, but let's see if you can survive, get out of that fucked up position and come back and win. And that's always a possibility with those long rounds. Just want to thank all my great students, my professor, Ralph Gracie, and my lovely wife, Michelle, and all my family, my mom and dad. Thanks.